This month of the How's All That Workin' For You podcast is sponsored by J. Brooks Coffee Roasters in Memphis, Tennessee. Urban Joe is the house favorite at J. Brooks for cold brew coffee. The legendary flavor of Urban Joe will ignite your taste buds with captivating shades of cocoa and cream. With a pleasantly balanced, bold body, the dark roast lover will fall head over heels for this roast. Cold brew is very quick and simple to make. It contains 2/3 less acids than hot brew coffee, so it's a perfect choice for anyone who has reflux or needs a stomach-friendly option for coffee. And if you make cold brew at home, you can make both cold and hot coffee with your solution. Everyone loves an adventure story. Make your day an epic adventure with a steaming cup or cold brew of Urban Joe. To order this signature blend for yourself and learn more about J. Brooks Coffee, click the link in the show notes or visit jbrookscoffeeroasters.com. That's the letter J, brookscoffeeroasters.com. You are officially invited to create some breathing room. This is the absolute best podcast to find the strategies, resources, and motivation you need to stop drowning in overwhelm, break free from hustle culture, and live out your God-given purpose. I'm your host, Rachel Baker, and girl, I've been there, done that. It is my God-given purpose to help you find space for an intentional life so you can confidently live in those strengths, skills, and passions that light you up and serve others. I know you are ready to create some breathing room, so let's do it together. Welcome to episode 16 of Create Some Breathing Room. I am excited because we are starting a new month, a new theme for the podcast. And this month, all of our episodes are going to center around this idea of supporting our families. And this can look like a lot of things to a lot of people. We all come from different backgrounds and experiences. And so I am fully aware that not every single episode might apply to every single person that's listening. But I am going to try to cover a few different topics within this idea of how we support our families as we are trying to be good stewards of our time and serve other people and all those things, being sacrificial, all those things we're really good at, but also while trying to create some breathing room in our lives. I want us to find a way to do both. It is possible, I promise. So that's what we're going to focus on this month. So I want to kick off this new month and this new theme talking about how to embrace your current season. And I am mostly for this particular episode going to be talking to moms because this one is really difficult. And this isn't so much about the children as it is about us as moms. So regardless of what season of mom life you are in, I'm talking to you today because comparison is the thief of joy. You know it, I know it, and yet we still keep struggling with it. One of the hardest things about being a mom is not knowing if you're doing it right. That mom over there that I follow on Instagram sure looks like she's doing it right. Maybe I should try what she's doing. Does that resonate with you? Because if it does, I'm speaking to you today. It is time to get real about the importance of embracing your season of motherhood so you can better support your kids. Please know, I do not pretend to have this mom life thing mastered in any way, shape, or form. I do, however, think it's important to have these conversations and get some of this stuff out in the open where we can actually deal with it. So the first thing I want to say to you about embracing your season of motherhood is that every single stage of motherhood is unique. Every stage has its own set of challenges and joys, but they look different when your kid is 3 years old and when your kid is 13 years old. Both of those have challenges. Both of those have joy. They're going to look different though. And if you're comparing yourself to other moms who are in a different stage of life, that's going to leave you feeling inadequate or even guilty. We can should and guilt all over ourselves. So there's a difference in needing to have constant attention to babies and toddlers versus living a life where you've got independent teens. And maybe you are having talks with your kids about being kind and sharing and playing well with others. But this other mom is talking with her kids about drugs. So if you are looking on social media or looking at your friends and having that comparison moment, well, she's able to get all of these things done. Well, maybe she's got independent teens. Maybe they can drive themselves places. Maybe they can feed themselves, and you're over here with kids under the age of 5. That's a totally different life. So be aware that each stage of motherhood is completely unique. The next thing I want you to know is comparison can lead to unrealistic expectations. And like we've already discussed, a mom of a toddler might compare herself to the mom of a teenager who has more free time and independence. And then toddler mom is immediately going to struggle with those feelings of frustration and disappointment when those expectations she pulled from teen mom's life are not met. And this leads me back to this concept that we talked about in episode 2 with Mary Morantz. In her book, Slow Growth Equals Strong Roots, Mary talks about this Decepticon of success. And in case you haven't read the book or listened to that episode and you're not familiar with this was one of my favorite quotes from that book. So the Decepticon of success is this idea that you look on social media or you are surrounded by other moms, other women, and you look at what they've got, what they're doing. And there's this mom over here that does all these crafts with her children. She's just so crafty with her kids all the time. And you think, I should do crafts with my kids. And then there's this other mom over here who has a really neat and tidy house. She's really good at decluttering and organizing. I should declutter and organize my things too. And then there's this other mom that she sews her kids' clothes. That's like her favorite thing to do. I should sew my kids' clothes. And the thing is, we don't pick one. We take something from all these different people and we mash them together like a transformer, and we form this Decepticon of success and think, that's what I should be. Why can't I be that? But the thing is that thing that we've created doesn't actually exist. We've pulled it from all these different places. Not one of those women that we're looking at contains all of those qualities. So I love the imagery. I love the concept. And I also don't love how much it stepped on my toes when I read it. So if that also just happened for you, I'm sorry about that. I know how that felt. It doesn't feel good. But be aware that we do have the tendency to do that to ourselves. Hey, it's Rachel, your go-to encourager and coach. I know you love our podcast talks, but imagine taking that connection to the next level in person. I'm more than a clarity coach. I'm someone who's been in the trenches, juggling all the things. I get it. I've danced with chaos, overloaded schedules, and the struggle to prioritize self-care. But I found the rhythm, and I've got the strategies to help your ladies create some breathing room. So if you're organizing an event, whether it's a conference, church gathering, or retreat, and you want a speaker who brings humor, real talk, and a dose of inspiration, I'm your girl. Let's chat about making your event a memorable one. Visit racheldbaker.com/speaking. That's racheldbaker.com/speaking. I can't wait to connect. When you compare yourself to other people, it can lead to unrealistic expectations. And then the last thing I want to make sure you realize is that every child is unique. We've already talked about how every stage of motherhood is unique. Every mom is unique. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but I want to talk about the kids. Every single child is unique, even within siblings within a family. There's so much we could unpack here, but I want to speak to this topic in 2 specific ways. First of all, personalities. You guys, personalities of every child are so unique. The child is going to have their own needs. And this is a topic that's near and dear to my heart. My background, my training, my master's, everything is special ed. The needs of each child are unique. And I mean, not just those who are considered to have special needs, but I do want to talk to my fellow special needs mamas right now. That comparison piece for us as special needs moms, disappointment, frustration, anger, sadness, grief, all of these are valid feelings, but do not make it harder on yourself by playing the comparison game. It's not helping anybody. It's not helping you. It's not helping your kid. There's also surprise and delight and gratitude, moments of pride and celebration, and they are more precious for us as special needs moms. So when your focus and your mindset are in the right place, you're going to be able to have those feelings more often. And I want to encourage you to find people who will celebrate with you and sit with you in those moments of grief. There are so many ups and downs. It's a roller coaster when you are living the special needs mom life. So not only is it extra harmful to try to compare to other moms, but you want those people in your corner who are going to celebrate the things with you that other people might not be celebrating and sit with you in your moments of grief, whether they fully understand it or not. It's a big deal. So, yes, every child is unique. Yes, personalities are going to be unique even among siblings. And yes, special needs or not, the needs of every child are going to be unique. All of that needs to be kept in mind when we start looking at others. And then every mom is unique, right? I am not the arts and crafts mom. I'm just not. I also discovered early on that I really stink at making those cute birthday cakes and decorating, planning the big fancy parties. I would rather do literally anything in the world other than cooking or baking for hours in a kitchen. There are just a few things like that I've allowed myself to feel guilty about as a mom over the years. I don't like it. I'm tired of it. I'm done with it. Now I try to focus on my God-given strengths, which then allows me to focus on and point out my kids' God-given strengths. Do you see the focus and mindset shift in that? I could focus on the things that I'm not great at, but instead I really want to focus on, I do have some strengths, right? And I want to give a shout out to my neurodiverse moms. Executive functioning is difficult for a lot of us, and we're doing it anyway. So love your guts, and I'm here for you, solidarity sisters. As we finish up, I like to leave you with something to take away and take action on. I want you to know a big part of creating some breathing room in our lives, especially as moms, is intentionally seeking ways to have mental clarity and peace. And embracing your season of motherhood is a huge step in that direction. It's just one more way you can support your children. So remember, each stage of motherhood is unique. Comparison is always going to lead to unrealistic expectations. Every child is unique, and every mom is unique. Your life does not need to look like anyone else's life. You do you. If you are struggling to find your mom life rhythm, or if you want somebody in your corner who's going to celebrate with you and sit with you in the difficult times, I am here for that. Investing in yourself now is a vote for your future self and for your kids. You can check out all the ways that I am ready to support you as a certified Christian life coach at the link in the show notes, or you could just go to racheldbaker.com/coaching. I would love to be on this journey with you. Thanks so much for listening today. Be sure to check the show notes to get links for all the resources mentioned in this episode. As always, your reviews make such a difference, so thank you for taking the time to leave those for us. Your ratings and thoughts mean so much. I love reading each and every one. As we wrap up today, please remember, life can feel crazy and overwhelming sometimes, but you will never regret taking the time to create some breathing room.